Good evening, San Diego, and welcome back. Well, if you listen to the radio here in San Diego, you may recognize Geena The Latina's voice, but her new podcast is now getting some celebrity recognition. She's joining us now to discuss all about it. Geena, I cannot believe you're here sitting with us.
I'm so excited. Thank you for having me on.
Of course, not only do we recognize your voice, but your laugh. I've listened to you for 17 years since you've been on the radio in San Diego. You're originally from Los Angeles, moved to San Diego for radio. Tell us how it all started.
Radio. I moved here. I didn't know anything about radio. They told me to be myself on the radio day one. That's what I did, and I got the job. I moved down here and I taught myself everything, and I've been here. And I love San Diego's embraced me so much. Like, everybody here has just grown up with me. I have people that tell me, like, oh, I remember when you were living in a little, studio in PB, and now you've bought, your house and all these things. So it's really cool to grow up here in San Diego, really.
Yeah, and I could relate. I've listened to you for many years, and you've always been open about your challenges, your life, your health, everything. It's kind of just giving me the chills right now.
Yeah.
And all of your experience, you launched your own show, your podcast.
Yeah,
Tell us about it.
I wanted to create something, because we can only talk for so short on the radio, and I love talking on the radio, but I wanted to talk about more issues, about things that, like, every episode we do is meant to inspire, to connect, to motivate, to educate. I feel like I've learned so much stuff, so many things, so many tidbits. I've been privy to so much information that I just wanted to share more with people about a variety of things. Like, we talk about emotional wellness, mental wellness. We talk about everything. I mean, I talk about female issues, like things that people probably wouldn't go there. I feel like we should talk about it and we should be open about it. And luckily, people are liking it.
And Rihanna's liking it too.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
So FENTY Beauty and FENTY Skin, they launched. They wanted to highlight businesses for Hispanic Heritage Month, which just ended, and they reached out and they said they wanted to highlight the Geena The Latina Show, which was my online show and podcast. And I said sure. So I created a video for them. They posted on their Instagram. They have like 12 million followers or whatever they do, and that's how that collab happened. And I'm really thankful that they've embraced me and that San Diego's embraced me, and I'm just excited to help others. I think that's my main thing, is I want every episode to help. I always say that not every episode is for everybody, but every episode is for somebody, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And adding to what you're saying, you and I are both young women in the media business, but television and radio is a little different. On the radio platform, you're able to talk about your personal experiences more, to really be a voice. We're a voice as well on TV, but it's different, and we all have something going on in our lives.
Absolutely.
We're on air every day, being a voice for the community, but inside, we're going through so much, and you're a mentor, and you are inspiring so many people, young women, even men as well. How does that feel to be recognized as a mentor?
Well, I always just realize that if I'm going to be in the public eye, because it's not something that I would have chose to do otherwise, I'm going to use it as a voice for my people and and to help people. And that's always been my thing. Like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it for everybody, So
and it doesn't feel like work.
And no, it doesn't feel like work. And I didn't realize, we talk to so many people, almost 1 million people a week listen. And the first time I shared about my brother's death on the radio, I got so much response from people, and that's the moment I realized, wow, people do connect to you. Like, vulnerability does matter, and everybody is like, even though we may live different lives, we all share something in common. And just to hear somebody else, maybe if you didn't even go through the same struggle as them, it's comforting that, like, that that someone else is going through the same thing. So that's what I made it my mission. That if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do, and I always say, like, I'm not a doctor. This is just my experiences, and I just hope that every episode helps somebody.
I'm so sorry if you were lost too. I know your brothers are looking down on you right now after their passing. I feel the same way. Losing my mother, and she had always said, Teresa, you'll make it to San Diego. Don't worry, you'll make it in the news business. So I kind of relate to that as well.
And you can probably feel her, right? And when on the Geena The Latina Show, we do a whole episode on grief. And everybody has lost someone or will, and it's just part of life, right? So how do we get through it together? My brothers have been my main inspiration. I have to make their death worth something, I always say, and for me that is like reaching out to the community. And for whatever reason, I believe in God, for whatever reason I was given this voice, and I'm going to use it for good, and that's why I created the Geena The Latina Show.
Yeah, your voice has been so powerful over the years, 17 years, and your accolades too. I mean, you have been recognized for Best Radio Personality, Woman of the Year by State Assembly.
Wow, yeah. They named a day after me here in San Diego. That's pretty cool.
April 17th.
April 17th.
Why?
Yes.
Okay, so why April 17th?
You know, I didn't get a choice in that. They just gave, maybe that was a day open. I have no clue, but yeah, April 17th is officially Geena Latina Day in San Diego. So,
how do you celebrate on April 17th?
You know, I don't know, different ways. I don't know, a drink.
Yeah. And how is your radio family? I mean, you probably worked with so many people over the years, and you know, it's kind of like a family. How does it feel just working in the media business in San Diego?
It is. I feel like in San Diego, we all, even TV, radio, we all know each other. We all have this common ground, and everyone moves different stations and things like that. So I think the radio community has been very good to me. I've had nothing but great experiences in San Diego, like from the people on the streets to the media. I come from LA, where it's a tough world out there, and San Diego, to me here, everybody is nice, everybody smiles. Like, we live in the perfect city here.
Yeah. Thank you for what you do. I mean, you're real, and people really enjoy listening to you. And how can people tune in?
I try. The Geena Latina Show, our next episode is next Thursday. We drop every 2 weeks. You can watch on YouTube, subscribe, like, all the things, or you can listen to the podcast. We're on iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Spotify, pretty much anywhere you can listen to podcasts we are on. And then on Instagram, Twitter, all that. I mean, not Twitter, sorry, that's not it. Instagram, TikTok, the Geena The Latina Show. Follow us.
I'm sure there'll be another app pretty soon as well.
Yeah, I know. You know, everywhere. The Geena Latina Show, you can find us. Yes.
Well, it's been a pleasure having you.
Thank you for having me.
Geena The Latina.
Yes, we got to have you on my show.
I would love you on your show. Yes,
okay,
definitely.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. Good to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you too.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Logan?